This week on Dumb Pitches, we have our first near-death experience. Natalie Holt is our guest, and she tells us what it's like to move from Florida to the Northwest and maybe not ask enough questions. A lot of cautionary tales in this episode. It's really fun. Here we go. Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. Very excited. We have another in-studio guest. They like it better when you're in studio. But Natalie Holt is here.
I'm here.
Introduce you before I start talking to no one.
They tried to keep me out of the studio and I barged in.
Stood outside.
Yeah.
No, I'm very happy you're here. We've actually talked about having you on for a little bit. And so we do like to start. This is my version of your intro, so people can get to know you, know that you've had good ideas and not only bad ideas.
Okay.
Very funny comedian. Honestly, one of my favorites here, and really, really good writer, if I could say that. But yes, so that's we do comedian and writer, sure. But you're a co-producer of the Comedy Nest, which is a long-running show here in Seattle that we've had. You've also written for magazines like McSweeney's and different things like that. I did want to bring attention, and I don't know if I've ever really publicly thanked you, but if you saw me on the Coast to Coast roast that we did a long time ago for like during COVID, Natalie actually helped me write some of those jokes. So, in which we got second out of 24. So you know, we did pretty well.
We're number 2.
Yeah, that's what people say about Seattle. They are number 2. But so overall, you've also had some podcasts and different things. Like you've had plenty of ideas that were diverse types of ideas and also varying levels of success.
Yes. Yeah, successful. It doesn't say what level of success.
It doesn't.
At some point you succeeded.
You know, anybody can be successful with themselves.
You wanted to put on those pants and you did. You made it.
Anyone can be successful.
Anyone can. Yeah. It depends on the goal. Just like if you're like, I got to be like the most famous rich person, probably not. But if you're like, I just got to fucking make it to the end of the day, you did it.
That's good. We're all about interim goals here. Yeah. I think that's very important.
Set yourself up. You set yourself up for success.
Yes.
Exactly. Right.
You put those pants on. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for you.
Some days you can't get them. You can't get there. You're like, this is a no pants day.
Yeah. I tried, but it didn't work out. Well, technically, it's a no pants day. I went with shorts again.
Oh.
They know when we get closer to the summer and you can get a knee every once in a while.
Yeah,
well,
you know, it's a scorcher.
It is. It is.
Everybody's like, stay cool tomorrow.
Seattle, it's 87, which is really hot for us, to be honest. But not a fan. I was in Northern California this weekend. It was fine. I was in Redding and then Corning, California, and it was like 95, which of course but you know, they're more equipped for it. Everybody's got AC and stuff. But I went paddle boarding because I'm that kind of person now.
Yeah.
And it was so busy, and I don't think I realized how, I guess, conservative that area was. And it was one of the more conservative audiences I've ever had. And I work in the South, like, a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just angry by the end of the show. I was hot and I was angry. It went fine. It went fine, you know.
Yeah.
But just, like, little comments, you know, if Bud Light comes up, it's like a big fucking deal now. And then like so we were talking about some of like the Antifa type of stuff, and somebody said that people deserve to get shot, and I was like, look here, I'm not here to talk about it, okay? I'm just gonna get my paycheck and get out of this casino, all right? And I was like, wait till you hear that I'm gay, and they actually liked that part. Of course, it's very confusing in those situations, but then you go outside the casino and it's 90 degrees, and I was just like, this place sucks.
Now it's cool.
Yeah.
You're the kind of gay we like.
Yeah, I know. God.
The kind where, like, maybe you want a third. I've seen a lot of porn.
Exactly. That's what. Oh, somebody posted yesterday. It was a good kind of. It was like, oh, happy Pride from all the girlfriends who will have a threesome with a girl on their boyfriend's birthday or whatever. It's dead on. But yes. No,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not that kind. I'm married to a lady. Anyways.
But speaking of success, you were probably one of the only people who walked out of the casino with extra money, right?
That is true. That is true, because I don't gamble. I don't really like it, so it works out. Okay. Now that we know how successful we both are.
Yes.
What bad ideas did you come up with when I sent you the criteria?
Okay. I was like, have I ever had any? Of course. Yeah. You're like, No, I've had quite a few bad ideas. One that immediately came to mind, because of course you were like, drugs. I like weed.
You had a podcast?
Yeah, we would get high and talk about your formative sexual experience.
Yes, that was a really what an interesting idea. Anyways, but good idea, and I enjoyed doing that podcast.
We should bring it back.
Yeah,
sexual awakening. No one ever knew how to say it. We made
it was like sexual bacon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the key to a succccessful podcast.
No one can
ever tell anyone else about it.
I've been looking for it. I can't find it. Yeah.
I was remembering one time I got high and I wanted both mac and cheese and spaghetti, and I was like, well, I'm not made of time. What if I put the macaroni and the pasta in the same pot, boil them, split them, put the sauces on what I boiled?
Okay.
And I think the shape is key to the macaroni sauce. I don't think it goes very well on spaghetti. I don't think the red works.
Okay, hold on now.
Yeah.
So we boiled the pasta together.
Yeah.
Then took it out and separated the noodles?
No, I didn't. I just put 2 types of pasta in a pot.
And then you put 2 types of sauce in there?
And no, I did separate for the sauce.
Okay. So there's a little bit of
that was a
macaroni and a little bit of
a little macaroni, a little
spaghetti.
And I don't know why this sticks with me to this day of just, what was I thinking? It wasn't, they're so small. The macaronis were so small.
Yeah. And are we talking regular macaroni noodles, or is it like a shell or anything?
Just Kraft macaroni. It was also like a jar of red sauce. This was not like a fancy thing. I was just like, I can't choose between these 2 shitty pre-made
Why would
meals.
I force myself to choose?
I could have it all. But I cannot boil these pastas separately.
That's what I think. I'm not made of time, which is an odd construct when you're high, for sure.
Yeah.
Time is a difficult.
I was like, I gotta watch this shitty movie as fast as possible.
How am I going to do that if I have to make 2 meals? So I'm going to make them together. Okay, well, I would assume that the pastas would cook at different rates based on
I think they did. I think one was mushy. The macaroni was a little mushy.
Okay.
The pasta was a little hard.
You're like, neither was good.
Yeah, I was like, neither was good. The sauces were not good. They were just, I don't know what it is. There's something unholy about a macaroni sauce on a pasta, even though.
That is, so it's like the powdered version too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did the powder with spaghetti. That's.
Even though it is really just, I guess, kind of like Alfredo, but it's not like Alfredo. It's watery macaroni sauce.
Interesting. Now I'm like really thinking about, because things can go a little haywire with those sauces regardless. Sometimes it gets clumpy, sometimes it gets too watery, whatever. So then to add a long noodle with that.
Throw in a long noodle.
We don't have a lot of cautionary tales on here, surprisingly, but this seems like,
wow.
Natalie did the research for you. Spaghetti with powdered mac and cheese sauce, not good.
So many cautionary tales. I was like, wow, yeah, if you're going to mix pastas, make them around the same size. I could see like a rotini maybe in there if you really want to.
Okay, with the macaroni,
yeah, like maybe because they're kind of the same size.
Or you do like a bow tie in a shell or something,
bow tie in a shell. I like this, and then you get different textures. You're like, that could be exciting. I think if you're high, that could be exciting. Maybe you're not right now. Maybe you're like, that's not exciting.
I'm sure some people are high listening to this, but
if you're that type of gourmand, then yeah. I say go for it. That's just my cautionary is don't mix the long noodle and the short noodle.
Okay. Yes, that seems okay. And then can we ask some more clarifying questions about the red sauce bowl? How did that do with the macaroni?
I think mushy? The red sauce was a little more successful, but the macaroni was mushy.
Okay.
And so it was a little like, just didn't. And overall, it was just not the meal I saw in my head,
Damn it.
It was a little, and the pasta was a little maybe harder because macaronis get mushy, so I was like, oh.
There is something when you're high that you're like, I like both of these things, so them together or them, whatever is going to be good. Like I've done that before. I'm embarrassed, but I put peanut butter and jelly on a tortilla once.
Oh.
It was not good.
It was not?
No.
Did you grill it? Was this like a
corn.
quesadilla
That
situation?
would have been smarter, probably. It was a corn, like a little, like the taco one, you know? And I think really what it was I didn't have bread and I just wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But again, there's a want to effort ratio when you're stoned of like, how much am I going to put into this?
Yeah.
And then you can set yourself up for a lot of work, because if it is good, then you got to keep making them, because you're going to keep eating it. That's not like, you're not just going to be like, oh, I'll just have one tortilla pizza, whatever it is.
It's like a street
peanut
taco.
butter. Yeah, exactly. Just eat your taquitos, a bunch of rolled up ones. I don't know. But it did not work out for me very well.
I'm on board with this with flour, though. I feel like with flour, you were onto something.
Because I used to do flour tortilla heated up with butter and cinnamon sugar on it. Kind of a churro-esque type flavor, at least. And that was good. And I think that might still be good on a corn tortilla. But something about the jelly, I think, just didn't really work for me. Should have been like a crepe maybe, but it wasn't, you know. Yeah. So I can understand the idea of being like, well, I like or want both of these things. Let's figure out how to do both of them.
Yeah. And you know what? The initiative was there. The problem solving was not there. We tried. Yes. We had the, go for it attitude, the confidence.
The ambition.
Yeah.
It's good.
The hubris, some would say.
Okay. What else do you got?
Oh my God. Man. Well, to continue on the drugs theme, this was actually at the comedy Christmas party. We used to have someone, of course, was like, would you like an Adderall?
There was a lot of drugs always floating around. I mean, I'm sure there still are. Anytime you get a lot of maybe just entertainers together, I'm sure this happens at like Microsoft's Christmas parties too or something. But
oh yeah, they're like, do you have want some
let
adrenochrome?
Yeah.
They got the good drugs.
Yeah, but like comedy festivals are known for that too, and just like everyone's like, here, have some drugs. Yeah. So somebody gave you an Adderall.
Gave me an Adderall, and I've been drinking. I never had an Adderall before. I had to catch a flight the very next morning, but I was still like, this is fine, and it wasn't fine.
Oh, no.
They mixed badly. I got home at like 3 a.m. And I was like, I have to go to the airport in like an hour and a half, and I was like, I could sleep. Went to sleep. Woke up. My flight was leaving in 20 minutes. Right.
No.
So, I would say bad decision. Had to reschedule my flight. I had a minute too, because I was probably still kind of drunk and on Adderall when I woke up, where I was like, I gotta get on my flight.
I gotta go.
I gotta catch. I started like getting ready, like calling an Uber. I live at least like 45 minutes from the airport, right? I'm like, we're gonna make it.
Oh my God.
They're like, Uber's like gonna drive down the runway, and like I'm just gonna hop out or something. I don't know what the plan was, but
that's not a good. Okay, but you were able to reschedule.
I was able to reschedule at great expense. It was at Christmas, of course.
That's true. Yeah, you're like going home for Christmas.
But I had to tell my family too. I had to be like, oh no, I missed my flight. Somehow.
I don't know. I overslept.
Yeah, like I'll be coming in later. Sorry.
That's so funny, because when I was a kid, when people were like in movies and stuff, like, oh my gosh, I overslept. Like that doesn't really happen at all for like if you are doing normal stuff.
Yeah.
Like sure you oversleep, but you were like fucking around the night before.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Always. There's no one that's just like, oh, I went to bed at 10 and then just kept sleeping past my alarm. Like no, you were drunk.
Yeah. You were up till 3 a.m. playing video games or something.
Something stupid. I did it once, which this used to happen more. I'm boring now and responsible, and it's actually really hard, so I'm proud of myself for it. But I used to do stuff like that, where if I had to, especially when you're on the road, you do your shows, then Saturday night after the shows, you're like, we did good, let's have some drinks, and then you stay up with these people you haven't seen in a long time, or people you just met, or whatever, and then you have a flight early the next morning, and I've just felt so terrible on planes before, and like I've fallen asleep in the waiting area like a lot, which is fine, except one time in Spokane, which is a very small airport, I like laid all the way down on the bench and fell asleep. And I woke up to like the last call of getting on the plane.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I almost just slept in the airport for no reason. Like I was there. I would have gotten on the flight.
Were they calling your name over the thing? They're like, Monica Nevi.
And they may have already,
Yeah.
but they were like, and we're going to close the doors. And I was like, oh, shit. Man. Oh. So can I ask a question about the Adderall? One, did you like it? And two, what was it like? Were you just up still and drunk, or did it like, what were the effects of the two together?
Yeah, I feel like it kept me up, and I feel like it gave. I feel like it was. I feel like it was not helping my attention in any way. I was like, this is not the right like. I don't know if it's the alcohol, or I don't know if this is not the medication I need. People would like tell me something, and then I go up to them later and like act like we were having a new conversation or something.
They're like,
they're like, we already talked about this. I'm like, whatever.
Did I tell you I have a flight in the morning? Okay, so it didn't help with your attention.
It did not. I felt it was fun. I was like, I'm having fun. I don't know if it was fun to be around.
I do, especially uppers. You're like, I can't be fun to talk to right now. Like, there's no way.
You're like, You're like, cool. Like, we should go in on some. Like, let's
start a business. Yeah, for sure. No one's. Oh God.
I once did that at a party. I was drinking and talking to somebody, and we'd like never hung out, and I didn't really have a desire to hang out with her very much. But while we were at the party, I was like, we should start running together.
I used to do that all the time, where it was always workout based. Yeah. I don't know, and I don't even like working out with other people. Like it doesn't. Ugh.
And then she like text me about it like the next day, and I was like, no. Slide the phone like across the room.
No, I don't think anyone realizes that part too, where it's like very rarely is the other person even also interested in it. You know, like sure, maybe this came up hiking or whatever you talked about, but I don't think either of you really wanted to do it in the first place.
I know. I was like, you should let me make the first move. Now I feel like an asshole. We're never gonna run.
You're ghosting workout buddies.
Yes. I was like, I'm such an asshole, but you know what? I was just not that into the concept. So.
It is that like once you're married and stuff, that's like the new like dating issue is like, well, I don't know how to get out of this. I told him I was interested in looking at their garden or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Next thing you know, you're like looking at someone's like rosemary, like, wow, coming in beautiful.
Because
I don't
you
know
got
what
it.
to tell you.
I mean, you don't have to, but I'm pretty like I feel bad a lot, so I'd be like, yeah, I'll look at your tomatoes or whatever. Those are tomatoes. Look at them.
Yeah, looking real red and plump.
Yep. Okay, so doing the Adderall, you did miss your flight. I've never missed a flight.
It was I was like, this is actually kind of a relief in some ways, because I'd never missed a flight either. But now I'm like, oh, okay. It's like a solvable problem, I guess. I mean, it sucked because, like I said, it was like Christmas, so it was kind of pricey. But now I'm like, okay, if I miss a flight, you can get another flight.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There's other flights.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, that one probably crashed.
Yeah, that one. Everyone's dead now. Except for me.
Sorry.
It was a Final Destination thing.
It was. Right, you didn't get on.
I saw death with Adderall.
When you were on Adderall, that's what you saw. My plane's going down.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. It was in your dreams, though. So your body kept you from waking up.
Yeah, it's like, don't get on that plane. And I was like, oh.
That is always a bad idea, I suppose, when you've stayed up too late.
Yeah,
you probably should. Yeah, you shouldn't go to sleep. You probably should
just power through, I think.
Because what were you going to get? An hour and a half would have been the ideal time, and that's not enough. Yeah. It's not a good amount.
I wasn't going to get up. I wasn't going to wake up for that. Because, my body wanted more. It wanted it all.
Did you get to go back to sleep after you figured out that you
I was like, well, now that I don't have a plane to catch, now that I've got a new flight, back to bed.
Yes. Okay, good. All right. What do we have any others?
Okay, well, this is my near death experience that I kind of had. The first summer I moved to Seattle from
I don't think
Florida.
we've ever had a near death story.
This is another bad decision I made. I went tubing on a river.
Okay.
And I I went with some people who'd done it before. I've gone tubing, I guess, in like hot springs in Florida.
Just like
or not
floating
hot,
kind
not
of
even hot
thing?
springs, just regular springs. You just float. And
Okay.
yeah, very little. Like it's
More
not
of a-
mountainous. Like not a lot in terms of rapids or whatever.
More of a lazy river type of feel.
More of a lazy river with snakes and spiders hanging around. No, they're not like all over you,
it's
but
like,
there's like wildlife. I guess. There's not
People who
alligators,
live in
there's
Florida.
whatever. There's some gators in there. It's whatever. No, I don't think
yeah.
it,
You were like,
not in that area. But yes, we so I was like, oh, this sounds fun. And like I said, I'm kind of used to just like Florida, and we went to the store to get like floats. They were getting floats and stuff, and some of them had the big ones. And I was like, oh, these are expensive. I kind of got like a shitty little inner tube, like a pulley, more of a pool float or whatever. And then we went on the river, no life jacket, nothing, fucking. And I guess the river was really slow. I guess it was like that time it had gotten very low.
lower, okay.
Yeah, like, so it was a little lower. So we went over these like rapids with like some rocks and stuff. My pool float popped and I like flipped, went under, and just like got dragged up against, like the current was still going, and I got dragged against a submerged log. So I just like went under, and I remember very distinctly just being under the water, seeing this log, and I was like trying to swim up, and I couldn't swim because the current's going this way. I'm trying to swim up this way, and it's like pa pa pa. And I was just like, okay, and I just like pushed away, like to the side off the log and I was like, I'll just let the current take me.
Take me wherever it's gonna
Yeah. And so I just like had to like go. I was like, if I can't keep going up because it's not gonna work. Like somehow I was like, okay, don't keep doing that.
be. Yeah, this isn't working, so do something else.
Yeah. And and then I just like kind of floated and like popped up in the middle of everybody who was like freaking out. They're like, where the fuck did you go?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know where I went. Down there.
Do you know how long you were under there?
I'm not sure. I feel like to me it felt like, I don't know, just like it didn't feel that long, but I guess it was long enough that like people were worried.
Yeah, you didn't come back up.
Yeah, but I don't know, probably I would say it was under a minute, but hopefully I guess when someone goes underwater you hope they come right back up. So.
Right. Well, especially if it popped and you flipped over. It wasn't like you dove under on purpose.
Yeah. So it was freaky, and I was like, okay, that was a bad. So I was like, and I don't think I've ever done the river tubing since then. But I was like, if I do, wear a freaking life jacket.
Yeah,
wear a freaking life jacket and get like a real inner tube, not a fucking pool floating.
Yeah, so there's something about the logs, and it's science, I guess, but where it just pulls you, it sucks everything underneath it for some reason. And like my dad, when he was a kid, because that was like a thing that you did where we're in the Northwest, I guess, I don't know. So he'd put his feet on either side of the log like that, and then shoot his raft underneath it, and it would shoot out the other side. But you have it'll pull you under too pretty quickly. And so one time I did a similar thing. I think we were seniors in high school, and it was like the end of, it was like this beginning of the summer of us not being in school anymore, So we went floating, and we just took the stuff that we had. So one guy had like one of those that you like lay down on, like that's not good for them. We had one actual tube, and then me and my friend Troy were in like a little raft with paddles. And at some point our raft gets stuck under a log, and you can't like we step out of it because we knew that's what was happening, but the whole thing just gets pulled underneath, and you would get like dragged against rocks and stuff. I mean, I don't know, that's like, as you were telling that story, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm like afraid is going to happen all the time. So and people always, it's different every year. Oh, the river's high or low or whatever. I don't know who's keeping track of the heights, but it's different things mean different.
Just a man with
danger.
a big ruler and a long beard.
The river guy. Oh man, it's scary.
Yeah. So I would say that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Or a bad decision. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
So don't do it. Very fun, very beautiful, hanging out on the river, but be safe. Be safe.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about rivers. You could just look at them.
Yeah. You could also do that.
You don't have to go in.
Looks good.
Looks good. There it is.
Looks good. Think about it while you take a bath.
In your home.
Yeah. Be like, oh, wow.
There are spots too on certain rivers that are like more calm. Like you don't have to go. You could do more of more of a Florida float.
Yeah.
there.
Totally. Yeah, I'm sure. And yeah, it was. And there's also lazy rivers themselves. You could go to
That is true.
What is it? Wild Waves.
Wild Waves
Yeah.
if you're here in the Northwest. Yeah, one of those. There's lots in Vegas and stuff, just then there's a lifeguard. I don't know. What is it about us needing? That is also a Northwest thing of when people move here, they're like, oh, we got to show you the stuff that we do. And it's always like fucking weirder and crazier than it should be, and you're like, why are you out here? No one else is doing that, by the way. Like I like that we're more maybe environmentally conscious out here, and you're like, oh, we got to be in nature and all that stuff. But pretty much no one else is like, here, come, let's go out in the desert. They're like, no, we got this indoor thing that's got AC everywhere, or it just sits there. That's great. Or hikes, especially here. Everyone's like, come on, you got to come see this hike. And there's like, it's just 7 miles both ways.
Exactly. You're like,
cool.
hey, you want to hike? I'm like, I've only walked through parking lots in my life. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even have closed-toed shoes.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah, that would be come on, we've floated the river before. Sure.
Yeah, and you know what? It's okay. I'm here. I made it.
You made it.
So
Live to tell the
I
the
lived
story.
to tell the tale. And it could happen to you.
I know. Honestly, I think we learned a lot. Don't put the powdered cheese on spaghetti. That's probably number 1.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't use like a pool floaty for river rafting.
Wear your life jacket.
Yeah.
Don't mix Adderall and alcohol if you got to be somewhere.
You can
don't
do
really
it.
want to
You got
go
just a
for
free
it.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Go for it, but not if you have a flight the next morning.
Yeah.
And if you've stayed up all night, don't go to sleep. If you
Yeah,
got to
don't go
do
to
something,
sleep.
just go to work. I guess I don't know.
And if you stayed up for several days in a row, then probably do go to sleep.
Yeah,
But
I would say
if
maybe.
if you keep staying up all night,
Ask
then
for some
then
help.
go to sleep.
Yeah, there you go.
Call a friend.
One night is fine, if you could. Because if you did get to the plane, you could sleep on the plane.
That's
Were you
true.
going to Florida?
I was going to Florida.
So it was going to be a long flight.
Yeah. It would have been fine to sleep on the plane, but the problem was the in between sleep. You can't control it once you're in there. Once you're in that sleep.
Sometimes when I'm so tired from traveling, even like I get home and the next day I'll be like, oh, I got to take a nap today because I'm still so exhausted. And then I have this weird thing where I have dreams that I'm trying to get someone to wake me up. Like I can't, because I can't actually wake up.
Yeah.
And so I'll have dreams that I trying to I had a dream the other day because my wife works from home. And so her office is in our bedroom, which is a big room. It's not like she's right next to me, but I was dreaming that I was trying to roll myself off the bed so she would notice and come and wake me up. It's just weird. So I get so tired. So that would be it. There was no way that you would wake up if you're that tired because your body's like, shh, stay.
I also like that she would have had to wake you up if you rolled off the bed.
I know, I wouldn't
if
have.
you could have rolled.
Yeah, I think I was in the dream. I couldn't talk either for some reason, but I could move.
Yeah, it's dream logic. It doesn't have to make sense.
It doesn't make any sense, is what I think. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I loved each of those ideas. Where can people find you if they want to follow you, come see shows, stuff like that?
Yeah, you can find my website, nataliejokes.com. I have links to whatever socials I'm on. I'm very not much on them, so but you can follow me anyway. Whatever. And I've been trying to put my stuff on there. I'm gonna start a cool show in September with Ev Jensen, Rachel Walls called Menage a Twat. You should come see it.
Menage a Twat.
Yes.
Is
it fun sketch variety?
Oh,
kind
nice.
of silly show.
Menage a Twat. Good enough. I say good idea on the name at least. Worth seeing it. Yeah.
And and also I was telling Monica, you can just email me, Natalie@nataliejokes.com. If one person emails me, then I will be like, oh my God. I'll be so surprised.
But I'll email you the river again.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh no, did I tell them we should run together? What?
Yeah, you're gonna get some workout buddies.
Yes.
Info. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure you email Natalie, please. That would be
me.
great. What is it? Natalie@nataliejokes.com. There you go. If you haven't, I don't know why you wouldn't have, but you can subscribe here on YouTube and join our YouTube membership so you want these episodes a day early and some other behind the scenes stuff. if you're on the listening apps, I don't know how to do this. If you're listening on
They
an
know
app,
how
you
to
can
do
rate, subscribe, review, do those things. Those are very helpful. I don't know why, but they are helpful.
Yeah, feed
you
the
should do it.
algorithm.
Yeah, feed the algorithm, please.
Look at all Monica does for you. All this free content.
That's true.
Click the button. You piss me off. No, no, you're
like
great.
You're gonna get some mean emails now. What else was I gonna say? Oh, and for my live shows, monicanevi.com, or follow me on Instagram at monicanevi. I realize I usually don't say my live dates on here, but they're always updated on there. You can come and see me do stand up live. Yeah, but right now you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches.
Yeah.
You're weird.
Yes.